what did we do in Trinity class tonight? I'm glad you asked. Turns out we worked with the energy of guidance. Guidance is about getting your conscious self out of the way and letting your spirit, your energy field, the true essence of you guide you to what energy would be positive for you in the moment. Where can I find relaxation? What would be healthy for me? Things like that. Those kind of questions where you're trying to determine whether something resonates with you, easy enough to find out using a technique that a lot of chiropractors, a lot of healing practitioners use called kinesiology or body testing. Some of you have heard that. The most common way that I've ever seen it demonstrated is people ask you to hold something in your energy field like a papaya or something, and then they'll press down on your arm. The idea being that if this thing works for you, you have a strong circuit and your arm stays up. If this is a negative force in your energy field, your arm collapses under the pressure. Handy, but you don't always have a person standing around who can test you. So I'm going to show you a different way of body testing tonight that you can use to get some guidance in the moment. It involves snapping your fingers, just like this. However you do that is fine. You use your left hand or your right hand. I use my right hand because I like to have my left hand free to touch things, sense things, connect to things. So I'm going to use my right hand, but it's really immaterial. However you want to do it is fine. I also use my middle finger to snap. I've seen some people do it with their ring fingers or their pointer, whatever works for you. But for me, it's the middle finger, and I snap like this. So first I'm going to say, body, give me a yes. And I find that my fingers stick, like there's some crazy glue or something on the pads of my fingers. And I'll say, body, give me a no. And it's like there's oil on my fingers, and they just slip off. I can't hold them there. If you've trained yourself to snap a lot, if you're a musician or whatever, and you do a lot of snapping, you're going to find it hard to get past the idea that your body is trained to do this snap. And even when you say, give me a yes, it'll do that, because that's all it does, it snaps. If snapping is unusual for you, if you don't snap a lot, this may work pretty well. It'll stick or it'll not stick. If you hold your hand down, it almost always snaps. So I always find it's good to hold your hand up and look at it and say, give me a yes. I always ask first to get my brain in the mode of listening instead of doing. I'll say, body, give me a yes, and if my fingers stick, I know I'm good. And if I say, body, give me a no, and it slides off, then I start testing things. If this method doesn't work for you, you may want to try it a different way. You can use your index finger and your pointer, and you can kind of flex this bottom finger with the top finger, either by pushing down or by pulling back. The idea is that yes now becomes a very stiff, rigid finger that won't move, and no is when the finger is bouncy like rubber. This is a weird thing for me. My hand kind of rebels. It's like fingers on the chalkboard. I don't like it. But I have found that some people find it more effective because there's no training. You don't train your finger to do anything in this position. So there's nothing for your brain to get in the way and make happen. You do train yourself to snap, so very often your brain can take over and override the question. So maybe this is a better way for you. Give it a try both ways. But when you find something that's comfortable for you, start testing objects. I've found that even the purest, most organic sugar is really not good for most people. So if you hold something in your hand or in your energy field and you say, is this good for me? You'll almost always get a no. It's a very reliable no. You can use it to calibrate your system. I've also found that water is something that almost everybody could use a little more of. So if you hold this in your hand or in your energy field and you say, is this good for me? You'll almost always get a yes. These are good ways to calibrate things. When you get really good at it, set the thing on a table and just almost touch it. Don't make physical contact with it. but extend your energy field. And then say, is this good for me? And without making physical contact, if you start to get a reliable yes for the water and a reliable no for the sugar, you know that you've been able to successfully touch this with your energy field. When you get to that level, you can even have a person, if you have a partner or something, you can do a little exercise with them where you say, I want you to pretend that you're mad at me, and ask them to be one of two things. Either totally mad, not going to ever give in, this is going to be a fight, I'm never going to agree, or, well, I'm kind of mad at you, but maybe we could work this out. You let them decide what they're going to be. You just reach out. You may start by physically touching them, but see if you can get to the point where you can also extend your energy field, just like you did with the sugar and the water, and say, is there a possibility for peaceful resolution? I got a yes. Were you thinking yes? Yeah. He was believing that, yeah, it could work out. And you can begin to get reliable information about whether somebody's coming at you with peace in their heart or everything's shut down. And it becomes a wonderful self-defense tool for you. You can even ask questions about yourself. Am I in a good place right now? Yes. If you get a no, ask, would exercise help? No. Do I need more sleep? Yes. And you can begin to get questions like that. These are very rudimentary sort of things that you can do. You can expand, you can try them out. If you get wonderful new things to do with this technique, come to Trinity class and tell me about them. I'll be happy to incorporate.